It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for us to assemble the parts. Now that we know the basic parts that are required in the electricity generation unit, it's now time to assemble them together. So we're just going to start with these pieces that are going to hold the turbine, because it seems to be the biggest part in the whole process. So that's a center plate that is going to be used in order to host the turbine. So just make sure that you plug them into those holes. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I made a mistake with my camera. It wasn't focusing exactly on my workspace, but I kept on putting it down, so you are not going to lose anything in the process. What you didn't see, I'm just going to explain to you. Now this one is ready for the turbine itself. Note that you are allowed to use some glue as well if you can, because it is going to help these components to remain in place. So these two appendages are for the generator. The one with a bigger hole is is to face the other way around, because the smaller part is where the front tip of the generator has to go in. So the bigger one is the back part of the generator, and then these two are the towers for the globe, because we did mention that we are going to test this electricity generating unit using a light bulb. So we're just going to hoist it up there. Let me just quickly put it in there. Be gentle and be delicate, because these units are made out of a soft wood and cardboard like material. So basically those are the appendages, rather the frames that you need in order to host your units. So now it's time for us to prepare the main parts of this power station for electricity generation. We'll start with the generator. The generator will be connected to the flywheel or the turbine, but it has to be connected through a pulley. So we're just going to put that round object that I've just inserted there on the front tip of the generator is the one that is going to hold the belt. The belt that is going to be driven by the turbine. That's the only way by which the belt is going to drive the generator, using that small pulley that we've attached there. Now here's the important part, assembling the main turbine itself. It is made out of three different panels. We just have to join them together. Just make sure that the center, the smallest one, goes into the middle. We're just going to explain why it has to be in the middle, because the two bigger ones have to be on the outer edges of the turbine, so that the center one can be able to hold the belt. So if the center one goes to the side, then the belt is not going to have the rails that are going to guide it, and it is going to snap the moment you start driving it, and there is not going to be any electricity. So the three panels that are going to make the turbine rather have to be joined together using the screws that you see on our desk. We have about 16 screws. About 5 of them, if not 7, are for the turbine alone. So I'm just trying to combine to join all those 3 units together. After that, I'm just going to show you why we are emphasizing that the smaller wheel has to be in the middle. So I'm sorry that you cannot see where I'm putting in the screws, because my camera just shifted when I was busy recording. But I'm just after finishing, I'm just going to put it back here. So while I'm still busy there assembling the flywheel or the turbine. Let me just explain that its purpose is to drive the generator. So it's important that all its pieces are in place, because otherwise if the belt is not tight enough, it is not going to have enough power to drive the generator. You just be driving the turbine, but not enough motion is going to be reaching the generator, and still the process is not going to generate enough electricity. So you just have to make sure that all the wheels are in the right position, and the belt is tight enough, and then that is going to help you with this power generating unit. So let me just take this opportunity as well to mention that this one is hand driven. It's not wise enough, and it's not energy efficient to be using our hands, because otherwise you have to stop doing your day-to-day tasks in order to continue focusing on your unit the whole day. So modern electricity generating units nowadays can now use the wind to drive this very same unit that I'm still busy assembling right now, because it takes a little bit time, it needs care. They can use wind, they can also use water to just push it around, to give it a push so that it can start rotating. Once it starts rotating, then it is going to give the generator the energy that it needs in order to give out the electricity. As soon as the generator starts generating electricity, you can now connect it to a unit or a motor that can in turn drive the turbine in future. So let me just take as much time as I can on the turbine, because that's the most important thing that is going to be required in this whole process. Once the turbine is ready, then it's going to be easy to put all the other parts in position. Actually, I made a mistake. I didn't see the central hole. When you receive your own equipment, just note that these holes are marked. If you misalign them, then you realize that some of the first two screws are going to enter, but the last 3 or 4 are not going to find their space, and then the wheel is not going to align itself properly, and that's going to give you a lot of problems with the belt and the pulleys. So let me just fasten the wheel together and put it aside so that we can assemble all the other remaining components as well. So what is happening here is that this system needs what we call the input side, it needs the transformation side, and it also needs the output or the consumers of this electricity. So this one, what I'm doing now, the turbine is on the input side of the system. So the generator, obviously it is the central part, it is in the transformation side, where it's on the transformation section rather. That is where the mechanical energy is finally converted into the electrical energy. So as soon as I finish with the turbine, I'm going to put it down so that you can see what it looks like, and then later on combine hoist it up onto the main frame. So as long as you manage to assemble the main components well in this stage, then it's going to be easier for you in the next stages, because it will be a matter of just putting an item in its position and then driving them around in order to generate the electricity that you need. Just give me a little bit of patience, ladies and gentlemen. I was still mentioning that other power stations nowadays also use nuclear power. There are some that also use biogas. There are some that are called hydroelectricity plants. but all of them are just where they are because they are trying to drive this thing that I'm still assembling. So this is the final screw, the center console. The good thing is that the flywheel itself is marked, so it's not going to be difficult. Let's just put it aside. It has been assembled. So here is the pulley that is going to be used. The belt is going to be attached to that pulley, so that by the time when we are driving the turbine around, the pulley is going to be holding the belt, and that belt obviously is the one that is going to be driving the generator in the process. So we're just putting the final pulley there on the turbine, just to make sure that the turbine, this pulley is for hoisting the turbine onto this tower here where my mouse is revolving. Yes, I'm just making sure that the pulley is moving well, and that there are no debris and other foreign objects unwanted in the flywheel. Otherwise it is going to move with difficulty and the belt is going to snap. So just make sure we just repeat for the belts to move the two units together in synchronization. It has to be tight enough. It mustn't be too tight, otherwise it is going to break the foundations or the frames on which we are hoisting it, and it mustn't be too loose, otherwise it is not going to be able to drive the generator. So now it's time to put the cables onto the generator. The red has to go to the negative, and the red has to go to the positive. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. And the black has to go to the negative terminal. If you confuse one for the other there, it is not going to generate the right kind of electricity that you want. And in most cases, actually, it's going to end up damaging your globe and your consumer units, because they are designed in such a way that the negative terminal has to be connected properly, and the positive terminal does not end up in the negative zone. I'm just going to show you on the USB hub there, on the USB port, to see if you can notice, or rather see where, because it is written where the negative has to go and where the positive has to go. It has to go. They are so strict just to make sure that the electricity is going to be transported smoothly. So I don't know if those words are clear enough in the camera, but that is the positive port and that is the negative port. Thank you very much. Let me just put it aside because that's where the globe is going to go in. Finally, that's going to be our belt, and we now have everything that this unit needs. We're going to see now how we install them in order to generate electricity using what we've just created. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.